Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF, folks. Let's make it a great one. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your words. Seek to know the truth. When you hear an opinion and believe it, you make an agreement and it becomes part of your belief system. The only thing that can break this agreement is to make a new one based on truth. Only the truth has the power to set you free. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials trade up 90, NASDAQ up 22, S&P's up 12, gold contract down $7.30, trading at $1,606 an ounce. Silver down 53 cents at $28.67 an ounce. Platinum flat at $1,582 an ounce. Copper up 3 pennies at $3.46 a pound. Light sweet crude up $1.34, trading out at $93.80 a barrel. Bonds up 5 ticks at $143.15. King dollar down 385 ticks at 82.52. Euro up 87 at 129.86. And the yen down 45, trading out at 94.46. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Well, I know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do we have out here? Okay, so we got a cash S&P at 1553.92. You do 600 million versus 652. Bottom line, folks, is that this top is game again. You get the 1563 on this cash. If we go over to the SPY and we take a look at the SPY, this is what you have. Now, SPY's pushing up today on lighter volume, no doubt. Okay, so what we did out here today, we did 107 million shares versus when we came downtown with 167. But now watch how this shakes out. Because of Tuesday coming down with heavy volume, well, that's on the daily. Now, when we put this on the weekly, what you're going to see is that on the weekly, it's like, okay, divergence, but this is what you have. Last week, we made a high out there with 547 million. We did 648 million this week. We were going into, which we did reject, we were going into the high volume from 2 weeks ago at that 818 million. So it's like top can get tested. That's the bottom line. We go to the Dow Industrials. We take a look at the Dow Industrials. The Dow, we're almost at the top. Dow Industrials that had the last splurge, so did the S&Ps, last 5 minutes actually. Up 90 bucks. The high in the Dow, we closed at 14,512. That 14,579 is game. NASDAQ Composite. You go over to the Composite. What we have with the Composite is this. Composite is still a weak dog, extraordinaire too. Composite, we did, we're up 22 bucks, 32.44. We did 1.6 billion versus 1.6. Now, what you have with the Composite is this. We are at the 32.44 area, and actually had to get over 32.49. And if we go take a look at the 18th, and you'll see this correlation, how this correlation checks out. The correlation goes like this, is that you got into 1.6 up here today, 1.636, going against 1.696. So it's not that it's a huge amount less, but the bottom line is they couldn't do the price either. The 3 Qs, we did 27 million shares. That 27 million, we closed at the 68.59, and what it had to do is, and this test here is amazing too, folks. So what it was doing was testing the downdraft of the 18th. We got 1 penny over it. We closed under it, and we closed under it with 10 million less shares in a context that 27 million versus 36 million, which is sweet because it's 30% lighter. So the NASDAQ and the Qs are still showing divergence, meaning they want to go down. It's the weakest indice, bar none. Gold contract. We go over and we take a look at gold. This is what we have with the gold market out here today. Gold market pulls back, did 121,000 contracts. couldn't get any traction, but the pullback is a decent pullback, meaning light volume on the pullback. Right now we're at 1606. This wants to get down and test that 1583 area. So we'll see how that 1583 area reacts. You know, that's what, about another $16 down. We go take a look at the bonds out here. What we had with the bonds out here today. Now, bonds are acting really strong. It's kind of interesting what you have happening. Bonds would not back off from their highs. We did 336,000 contracts, and what that's saying is that you're building cause to get into the 144.26 area, which, you know, you take that area out, the next stop in bonds would be 150. Now, let's go over to take a look at King Dollar, because what it's going to be all about Sunday night, folks, is King Dollar and the euro. That's what it's all about. We go take a look at King Dollar first. What we're going to have is this. King Dollar out here, she backed down with 26,000 contracts, and that's what you also like to see. Why? Because you're going into 48,000 contracts. That's how it's set up. Now, we go over to the euro. We take a look at the euro, and what you're going to see is this. The euro closed out at 129.95. Now, what you have with the euro is this. The 129.95, that was the last gunning last 5 minutes, which the S&P did, which totally makes sense, because what you are going to have Sunday night, folks, this is going to be one wild market. And the reason I'm saying that, our Sunday night, basically about 3 o'clock in the morning, well, first off, the markets will open at 6:30 Eastern time, but what you have at about 3 o'clock in the morning is that's where Europe's going to open, and the card game, the poker game that is going on is between Cyprus and the 17 finance ministers. And what the game is all about is that who's going to blink and who's going to fold. You know, the 17 finance ministers are saying that if you don't have a deal by Sunday night, Monday morning, they are not going to finance zero going into Cyprus. See, what happens, folks, every single day Cyprus gets financed, the rest of their banks. So they're saying if you don't come up with a plan to get the 5.4 billion euros, which is cheap money, and that's going to be it. I don't, you know, we'll see the whole baby shakes out. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. Now, in the world of TFNN, folks, you know, you hear us talk many times about the Tiger's Den. That's an interactive trading room. Bottom line, it's great room. A lot of good tigers and tigresses in there. We do this about once a year, and most of the time we do it is that we do it when we are coming into long weekends. We have an open house, and the way the open house works, folks, you can come on over, starting right now, up until March 31st. If you come over between now and March 31st, you will have 1 full month in the Tiger's Den for free. Check it out. You know, get in there. You can growl and prowl. And bottom line, what normally happens is that if you have taken, like if you just come over to our site, normally, you know, if you take a test drive on any of the products, you can do it once. What happens with the open house, no matter how many times you've been over there, you can come over and test drive the Tiger's Den. So come over to the front page of TFNN. You can get in there and you can be growling and prowling. It is a room that is basically active probably about 15 hours a day. So depending where you are or what you trade, check it out. Okay, now let's go over to Europe. We take a look at the DAX first. What you have with the DAX is this. DAX today, and this is where it's really sweet, folks, okay, because we know the DAX is going to be opening, well, after Asia, the DAX is going to be opening first. Now, what did the DAX do? Okay. DAX couldn't hold price, the FTSE. FTSE could not hold price out here today. We got to a price point out here of 64.26. You closed at 63.92. Bottom line, the FTSE is saying, hey, it's going to be trying to make a run down to the lower 62.92 area. And that's going to be, this Sunday night is going to be just crazy. If we go look at the DAX in Germany, what we have in the DAX in Germany is this. She also couldn't hold price. The DAX was actually down 21 bucks. She's trading out at a price point of 79.11. That 79.11 is not back inside the lower range yet. The lower range for the DAX is 78.71. So it still has a bit to get back inside the lower range. Some of the high volume stocks we did have today in a low volume market. Let's take a look at them. We had Bank of America was flat. You had General Electric up 8 cents. Hewlett Packard was up 72. That had a little juice underneath it. Coca-Cola was down 3. We take a look at some of the larger caps out here. This is what you had. You had Big Blue down 18 cents. Caterpillar was up 65. ExxonMobil up $1.12. Don't forget, folks, we get the Tigers Den open house for you right here, right now. It's 30 days, absolutely free. You can be growling and prowling, no matter where you are in the world, too, folks. You stay right there. We're coming back with our technology expert at TFNN, our man, Mr. David White. We're going to be right back.